Parenting is one of the most rewarding yet challenging journeys you will ever embark on. Every day, you are faced with choices that affect the well being and development of your children. Sometimes these choices are easy, and sometimes they're incredibly difficult. But here's the thing, no one is perfect. Every parent, at some point or another, makes mistakes. You might say something you regret, lose your temper, or miss an important moment. And when that happens, guilt often creeps in. You start wondering, am I running my child? Am I a bad parent? But here's the truth, parenting is a learning process. And the key to growth is forgiveness, especially when it comes to forgiving yourself. In this video, we are going to break down the process of forgiving yourself in three key sections: understanding parenting guilt, why we struggle with forgiveness, and how to forgive yourself for parenting mistakes. Let's dive into how you can let go of the guilt and start forgiving yourself for the mistakes that you make along the way. Understanding parenting guilt. The first thing you need to know is that feeling guilty as a parent is normal. It does not mean you are doing everything wrong, it means you care. Parenting guilt often stems from the idea that we should be perfect and that we should always be on top of everything. But perfection is an illusion. No one can do everything right all the time. And here is where the struggle lies. We hold ourselves to an incredibly high standard. We expect to be the ideal parents that we see on social media or read about in books. But we forget that those perfect moments don't always show the whole story. The truth is, everyone makes mistakes, whether it is yelling in frustration, being too hard on ourselves for not providing enough, or not managing to juggle everything at once. It is part of the experience. And rather than letting guilt consume you, the goal is to learn from it and to use it as a tool for growth. If you are finding this video helpful, please don't forget to hit the like button and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more parenting tips, advice, and insights. Your support means a lot to me, and it helps us to bring more content your way. Why we struggle with forgiveness. Parenting is one of the most emotional and high stakes roles that we will ever take on. So it is no surprise that when we make mistakes, they feel big. But why is it so hard to forgive ourselves? Here are a few key reasons. The pressure to be perfect. Society, societal media, and even our own expectations can make us feel like we should have it all together. When we fall short, it feels like a failure. Fear of hurting our kids. As parents, we carry the weight of the responsibility for our children's emotional well being. When we make mistakes, especially big ones, it can feel like we are damaging them in some way. Fear of judgment. We might fear how others will judge our parenting. The idea of being criticized by family members, friends, or society can make us feel even more guilty. But here is something you need to remember: perfection does not exist. Your children don't expect you to be perfect. What they need is your love, presence, and commitment to grow alongside them. Mistakes are part of being human. They are opportunities for growth and learning, both for you and your children. How to forgive yourself for parenting mistakes. No matter how much you love your child or how hard you try, there will be moments when you do fall short. Maybe you yelled when you meant to stay calm, missed an important event, or handled a situation in a way that you later regretted. These moments can weigh heavily on you, making it very hard to move forward. But here's the good news: you can move forward. The key is not to let guilt keep you stuck. Instead, use these moments as opportunities for growth. Here are some steps to help you forgive yourself and become the parent that you want to be. Acknowledge a mistake. but don't dwell on it. The first step to forgiveness is acknowledging that you made a mistake. It's not about sweeping it under the rug or pretending that it didn't happen. When you can openly recognize where things went wrong, you can give yourself permission to learn from that experience. The mistake does not define you, but how you move forward does. Once you have acknowledged it, try not to dwell on it. Guilt has a very funny way of keeping us stuck in the past, but you can't change what has happened. What you can control is how you respond. Every mistake is a learning opportunity, and the most important thing is what you do next. Remember, small, everyday actions, whether it is taking a moment to apologize or simply spending quality time with your child, even when you are feeling overwhelmed, are part of the progress. Every step forward, no matter how small, contributes to your growth as a parent. Apologize and make amends when necessary. And if your mistake affected your child, whether it was raising your voice, losing patience, or being too harsh, take the time to apologize. Not just for the sake of it, but to show your child that it is okay to make mistakes and take responsibility. Kids learn a lot about how to own up to their own actions by watching us as parents. A simple apology like, I am so sorry for raising my voice earlier. I was frustrated, but there is no excuse to yell. I love you and I will try to do better, can go a very long way. It teaches your child about accountability, humility, and forgiveness. All important life lessons. And don't forget to apologize to yourself too. You deserve the same grace that you give to others. Reframe your thinking. Instead of focusing on the guilt, try to reframe your thoughts. Shift your mindset from I failed to I'm learning. Mistakes are an inevitable part of life, but they don't define who you are as a parent. What matters is that you are showing up, learning, and growing from your experiences. Remind yourself that being a parent is a journey, not a destination. There will be ups and downs, successes and setbacks, but each step teaches you something new. The goal is not perfection, it is progress. And as long as you are committed to being the best version of yourself and learning from your mistakes, you are doing just fine. Give yourself permission to be human. You are not a robot. You are not programmed to be perfect all the time. And it's perfectly okay to not have all the answers. Allow yourself to be human with flaws and imperfections. The beauty of parenting lies in the moments of connection, growth, and understanding, not in the flawless execution of every decision. Remind yourself that self forgiveness is an essential part of being a parent. You can't pour from an empty cup. And if you don't forgive yourself, you will keep carrying that guilt around, which can prevent you from being present for your kids. So give yourself permission to make mistakes and learn from them. And then let them go. Focus on the positive and the progress. Instead of focusing on the one mistake, look at the bigger picture. Think about all the things that you are doing well. Are you loving your child? Are you there for them when they need you? Are you teaching them important values and lessons? These are the things that matter most. Reflect on your parenting journey and acknowledge the progress that you have made. You have done more right than wrong, and every day is a new chance to improve and grow. Celebrate the wins, even the small ones. You're showing up for your child, and that's what counts. Seek support if needed. Sometimes forgiving yourself is not easy, especially if the guilt feels overwhelming. If you are struggling to let go, it might help to talk to someone, whether it's a partner, a friend, or even a therapist. Talking things through can provide perspective, help you process your emotions, and give you the support that you need to move forward. Remember, you don't have to navigate this alone. Make a plan for the future. The last step in forgiving yourself is making a plan for how to handle similar situations in the future. If you find yourself losing patience often, it might be time to examine your triggers. Are you feeling stressed or overwhelmed? Is there something that you can do to reduce that stress before it builds up? Making small changes to how you manage stress, your time, and your emotions can go a long way in preventing the same mistakes from happening again. Having a plan does not mean you will be perfect, but it means that you are taking responsibility for your actions and committing to growth. You can always improve, and that is what matters. Final thoughts. Forgiving yourself for parenting mistakes is a crucial part of being a good parent. We all make mistakes. What matters is how we learn from them and move forward. By acknowledging your mistakes, apologizing when needed, reframing your thinking, and giving yourself grace, you can start to let go of that guilt and focus on being the best version of yourself for your child. Parenting is not about being perfect, it is about being present, loving, and committed to growth. So take a very deep breath, forgive yourself, and keep going. You have got this. And thank you so much for watching. Parenting is tough and we all make mistakes, but the key is to keep growing and learning. If you have enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear this today. I would love to hear how you forgive yourself after a parenting mistake. Leave a comment below and let's keep this conversation going. You are doing an amazing job. And remember, you are enough.